Hello, I am Thierry, the CTO of MySpector.com, and today we are going to speak about worker services relying on ASP.NET Core. And before we dig into the technical subject, I am going to shortly present myself. I am Thierry Bremer, senior back-end developer, currently working at GfK in Germany. I have an experience of more than 10 years in C# development in different companies. In Seritech, another consulting firm in telecommunication call center industry, where I started to work as a C# developer. Then I have joined another consulting firm called Margot Group in France, where I made different consulting missions in the financial industry. And then in 2020, I moved to Germany to join GfK, where I am at the role of C# expert developer in the technical test team of GfK. This video is in the context of different video series on the global goal of making the site MySpector.com, which is relying on Blazor technology and is entirely developed with C#. So I'm going to shortly present MySpector.com and to explain the exact context why we are going to design a worker service. MySpector.com intends to give a framework to automate inspection of target web pages. So there is this workflow which can be automated with MySpector. There is a collect stage, extraction stage, check, and then notify. MySpector.com is using the Google auto notification. And once I am logged in here, I have a dashboard with the different targets that I have configured. Here, if I look Allianz International Bond, you can see 8847. This is the current value. And for example, I can also connect it to another website like the temperature of Nuremberg. Here it is indicated 12 degrees. And indeed, the temperature displays is 12 degrees. So MySpector intends to give a framework so that you can fetch a target data on a target website, put on extraction rules, and then you can also get notification with the given criteria. Another illustration, for example, is the Big Rock price for 409.99. I can give you an execution example here. It is going in real time to fetch the data. You see the extracted price for 409.99, and if I go to the target website, also the target data come from here, 409.99. All these structures have some roles which are described in the configuration template here. Extraction steps, checker, notify. And these rules can be programmed to be executed periodically. The trigger page is created to program the frequency at which the trucks will be executed. And for this example here, for example, I have a trigger which is attached to the Big Rock price and which must be executed. I can, if I want to create a new trigger, attach a trucks like access point Wi-Fi. I put a period like every 6 hours, and the trucks will be executed every 6 hours. I can save it. And then I have a new trigger which is configured and not yet executed. To do this job, to schedule this execution, automatic execution, I have decided to use a worker service. Because we are in Windows, technically this will be a Windows service, but the .NET Core framework gives the tools so that the target solution, if it is ported to Linux, could be converted to a daemon. However, we will see that in the technical implementation, Microsoft does not respect totally the open-close principle in the sense that we will need to insert a specific NuGet package dependent of the operating system. Although I could opt for a standard console application to do this background service, I choose to use a worker service because the worker service can be started before any user logs in the session. And in the real production environment, when the target machine could, for example, restart for a patch update, for example, if the machine is restarted, I want all my services to be running. And this is the main distinction for a web service, why we are going to use a Windows service instead of a console application, because I want this resiliency against rebooting, and the software must be able to run without any user logged in the session. So now we are going to write the code together. Follow me, it will be fun. To create a worker service, I start Visual Studio, create a new project, select worker service, empty project template for worker service compatible with C#, Linux on different operating system. Next, I put a name. Next, I choose the same target framework as the other project I am working on, so NetCore 3.1, create. And here I have a new project that I can build and run. And by default, you come with this code which is running, and the idea is to put some code inside it to do what I want. You see that the .NET framework has generated some code for us. The program entry point here is instantiating a worker where the job of the worker is defined here with the logger information. Before writing too much technical code in this worker, I just want to stress that I have prepared my job by creating in the backend side some automatic tests, because we are working with TDD. And here, for example, I have the get pending triggers when must be executed, then retrieved. This test is passing, and then I have also another test to update the trigger once the job has been executed. So before doing too much work in the worker service, all the technical words interaction with the database should be already ready. And in this case, I have a unit test which is referencing a project, and my worker service will reference the same project to use the same entry points. The trigger service of MySpector is now finished. I have completed the C# code with some batch file. Here a first batch file to install the trigger service. The installation uses sc command line. It stops the service, then it deletes, then it creates again with the start auto with the bin path of the current directory, which is taken here, with the trigger service executable file with the correct current root instead of system32. Then I start, wait 3 seconds, then sc query service name to ensure that the service is started. So once this is published on the production file, I have only to run this batch file to install the service. The publish trigger service.batch file is creating the zip file to push this in the server, and I'm using the .NET publish command line with the output and give the CSproj with the trigger service as a source of the CSproj to create the package. Then I create a zip file with the WinRAR command line like this, and I can show you live how it is behaving. So I'm going now to run the publish trigger service batch file. It is going to create the publish repository here that you see, trigger publish service. Then the WinRAR command line is creating the trigger publish service.zip that I can push to my server and install. And inside it, there is the install trigger service.bat that I can execute. And because I want to execute as an administrator, I cannot run as admin because the default directory will be system32. I must open a new command line like this, run as administrator, yes. And here I should by hand go to the target directory like this, and then only here run the install trigger service.batch, and then the service is now running. So in fact, the service has been already installed in the production server before doing this video, and I am just going to show you one. And I'm going now to show you one of the results. And what I did is that I made some different rules to check a temperature every 10 minutes. So here you see every 10 minutes in the night, I have been alerted because my Trox saw that the target, in this case, this is the temperature checking. The temperature did go below a threshold, and during the night, because I have configured every 10 minutes, I can see that starting at 4 AM, 50 minutes, the temperature of Paris did decrease to below a certain threshold, 8 degrees in this instance. And I'm going to, so let's look at the new interface now of MySpector, which implements the triggers. If I want to create a trigger, I can say I want a trigger on the Big Rock price, which is the price of the radio control car. I can say I want it every 1 or 10, every number, and in every time frame I want. So if I want every 1 minute, I can say the Trox Big Rock price will be executed every 1 minute. So let's do this just for the fun. Save new trigger. And just for your understanding, the Big Rock price, what it is doing, it is going to isolate the price and then notify me with an email if the price is less than 350. And if I want to look at the Current price, it is about 400. Yes, it's 499. So for the moment, I will not receive any email, but I can come back to the trigger. It is not yet executed, but because I have configured it to be run every minute, and because it is not yet executed, and because my background service is refreshing every minute, I should have an execution in some time. You see the time of the server here, 20:10:54. Let's refresh by going on another page. Okay, it has been executed. The next execution is in 1 minute, so it has been executed at 10:50. It is 11:10, and it will execute later on. One of the initial goal was to use a background service, so for Windows, the Windows service, for resiliency against a machine reboot, because you have this advantage between services on standard console application that the service runs without any user to be logged in. So one last integration testing that I'm going to do with you is going on the target machine, force a reboot of the machine, stay logged out, and then check on this interface if there is indeed one refresh every minute. So what we can do is I will start my chronometer here. By the way, I am using here Xoclock, which you can find on my GitHub repository. Let's start the chronometer. Or you know what? I will start the chronometer after the machine reboot. So I am here on the target machine, the production machine of myspector.com. I will click on power, then ask a restart of the machine. If you restart, you can set, so restart anyway. And boom, my connection is lost. I'm going now to start the chronometer. And you see that the Windows, the Blazor server do not reply anymore because my machine is restarting. And I will say, let's wait 1 minute before retesting one more time. Let's go to the root directory. Okay. So the machine has restarted. You can see that I am logged out because of the memory of the session. The memory has been lost, the session is lost, so I am automatically logged out. I'm going to force to relog in to initiate a new session. Then my proxies are here. And let's look at now the triggers to see the very last execution. So you see 2014, 2015 now. And the next exec, so you see that it has been just executed. Let's wait one more time to see if there is a new execution after 24.50. So I'm going now to force a refresh of the page. Yes, and the last execution now has been updated. This is 16.53, 17.53. If you wonder why it is not exactly the next exec that was displayed just before, it is simple. This is because my next execution is set. My background worker is refreshing every minute. So there is a precision of 1 minute. So there is this little granularity in the minute time frame, which is not totally precise, but you do not have this kind of issue when you are dealing with other time frame like the hour, the day, or even the week. So the conclusion of this is that we have created a background service and we have checked here with a real integration tests that the work expected by the server is still doing the job after a reboot of the machine. So we have now this resiliency against rebooting of machine. The service is always running, is doing his correct job, which would not be the case in the case of a console application. If you like this video, destroy the like button and write down in the comments what do you think. Of course, do not forget to visit the website myspector.com, and if you like it, speak about it to your colleagues, and bye!